Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
It is a symbol of Aaron's legacy, a daily reminder of where he worked, the risk he took to protect us, and our duty to remember him.
State Trooper First Class Aaron Pelletier is being honored in a powerful way. Thanks for joining us here on Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Annette Montgomery. Now to our top story. A bridge near the spot where Trooper First Class Pelletier lost his life was officially dedicated in his name earlier today. Fox 61's Stephen Reels was at the emotional ceremony and shows us how the tribute came to be.
This overpass you see behind me holds a lot of memories to the loved ones of Aaron Pelletier and the Southington community as a whole. In May 2024, Pelletier lost his life in this area. May 2025, the community came together and held a vigil while this section of the interstate was shut down. Now, in September 2025, this same overpass will honor Pelletier for years to come.
Thank you all for coming out.
It's a transformation of pain into inspiration.
Trooper First Class Pelletier was a shining example of the very best.
The site where State Trooper First Class Aaron Pelletier lost his life back in 2024, now permanently a reminder of the loving husband and father and everything he stood for.
We lost a brother, and we still feel that pain today. He always showed up. He was the one that always stayed late, checked in, taught and mentored others, not for recognition, but because it was in his nature to do the right thing.
A Southington native, Pelletier spent a lifetime to keep his community safe. A community who surrounded his family with love, and a community who helped make this memorial possible.
I was contacted by a Southington resident, her husband's a police officer, and she asked me, Chris, what could it take to name this bridge after Aaron Pelletier? From there, I introduced a bill early in the legislative session, which was later absorbed into an agency bill and passed.
Passed, but never forgotten. Even in the afterlife, Trooper First Class Pelletier will continue to watch over his community and help them strive for a safer future.
Let us never forget the work that he did, the smiles he put on our faces, and how he served this great state of Connecticut.
One message was consistent from every single speaker we heard from. Do not let another death like Pelletier ever happen again. If you see a first responder on the side of the road, slow down and pull over. Give them a chance to do their job and do their job safely. In Southington, Stephen Reels, Fox 61.
Tomorrow, hundreds of cyclists are gearing up for the 14th annual Ride to Remember. It's a 75-mile charity ride from Springfield to Hartford, honoring fallen first responders from Massachusetts and Connecticut. This year's ride holds special meeting as participants will stop in Hartford to pay tribute to Connecticut State Trooper Aaron Pelletier. His wife Dominique will also ride alongside nearly 500 others. And organizers will be donating $10,000 in his honor. Fallen Hartford police officer Bobby Garton will also be honored. Well, breaking news at 10, a pedestrian was seriously hurt after being struck by a vehicle on Colt Highway in Farmington. Now, this happened just after 8 p.m. near Farmington Chase Crescent. The victim was airlifted to the hospital by Lifestar. Farmington police say the crash is under investigation, but the North Central Accident Reconstruction Squad, Route 6, is expected to remain closed for several hours as the investigation continues. Well, it is pretty nice weather right now, but here's your warning. Rain is headed our way. So let's check in with meteorologist Sam Sampieri for a first look at the forecast. Sam?
Okay, and yes, we had a beautiful day today, but tomorrow get ready for some possibility of some strong to severe storms during the afternoon and evening hours. Temperatures right now are down into the 60s and lower 70s. Still 76 in New Haven and Bridgeport. You can see we're down to 68, though, in the Groton, New London area. Here's the upper level low, couple of fronts, and they're going to be crashing into some somewhat warm and unstable air mass for tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. So overnight, no weather problems. Also no weather problems coming into tomorrow morning, and then things start to heat up. Now, I've just had a chance to look at some new data. There is some data now that is showing that this line of showers and thunderstorms may be delayed back a little bit. It may start at 3 or 4 o'clock, but then yet we have this latest guidance too showing here. So just be prepared after 1 o'clock, between around 2 and 6 o'clock, for the potential for strong to severe thunderstorms moving in the region. There's a lot of fairs going on, outdoor activities, so keep your eye to the sky. You hear thunder, or make sure you get indoors or get into a vehicle or something like that, you know. So temperatures overnight will be down into the 60s, in the 70s, and then tomorrow temperatures back up into the 80s. Coming up, yeah, I'll detail those storms, and we'll also talk about how much rain, the potential impacts, and what you can expect for Sunday and all into next week on your Fox 61 7-day forecast in a few minutes. And that.
Thank you, Sam. Well, new developments tonight in the case of Kimberly Sullivan, the woman accused of holding her stepson captive for more than 2 decades. Her legal team has now filed 2 new motions, one to modify a protective order and another to change her conditions of release. Attorneys argue that Sullivan should be allowed to return to her Blake Street home. They claim it's not where her accuser lives. They're also requesting that the court remove her GPS ankle monitor. They said she's followed all orders and is not a flight risk. The defense says these requests aren't special treatment, but basic rights protected under the Constitution. Sullivan's next court date is now set for October 3rd. Well, we have an update tonight in the case surrounding the 2022 death of Jimmy McGrath, the 17-year-old fatally stabbed at a house party in Shelton. A lawsuit filed by his family against the homeowners, Tyler Rich and his father, has now been dropped. The suit claimed they allowed underage drinking and didn't stop the fight that then led to that stabbing. It was originally seeking $15,000, but court records show it was withdrawn this week with no cost to either side. Earlier this year, Raul Val was found not guilty in McGrath's death. Well, a former Norwalk official was sentenced to 50 years in prison today for murdering her tenant. So for 64-year-old Ellen Wink, that's essentially a life sentence. She shot and killed Kurt Lametta back in January of 2022 while she was serving as the city's deputy Republican registrar of voters. Officials found Lametta's body inside the home and say he had been shot repeatedly. Tax records also show Wink owned that house, and she was also convicted of criminal lockout. And continuing with crashes happening today, a tanker truck that was carrying 2,000 gallons of used cooking oil rolled over on I-91 South and Rocky Hill. The Rocky Hill Fire Department says that truck leaked a small amount of oil and diesel fuel, but there was no environmental impact. The driver did get out safely with non-life-threatening injuries. The Department of Energy and Environmental Protection and Department of Transportation crews did respond. We also know lanes were shut down for about an hour while that scene was cleared. No first responders were hurt. Well, new tonight, 2 suspected shoplifters, including one from New Haven, were caught in a pretty unexpected place. Hear this, a Wendy's drive-thru. Police say this happened right after they stole more than $2,000 worth of merchandise from a TJ Maxx in Auburn, Massachusetts. 24-year-old Tanijah Williams from New Haven and 38-year-old Dominique Marion are now facing larceny and conspiracy charges, and police say more charges could be coming. Well, 200 gallons of phosphoric acid spilled at a Wallingford chemical plant earlier today. But we are told, luckily, nobody was hurt. The Department of Energy and Environmental Protection says a forklift punctured a large container that was holding the acid. We know it spilled all over the floors, with one worker getting acid on their shoes, but quickly took them off. That building was evacuated, and officials say there's no longer any threat to the area. Bristol police tell us one woman who was hit by 2 cars last night is expected to recover. Police say she was crossing Farmington Avenue around 8:30 last night when the first car hit her. After that, she was hit by a second car headed in the opposite direction. Police say both drivers did stop after the crash. Connecticut now has its first human case of West Nile virus this year. Health officials say the patient is a man in his 40s from Fairfield County. He got sick last month, was hospitalized, but has since recovered. The virus has been found in mosquitoes in 34 towns so far this season. Experts warn the risk will stay high until mosquito activity drops in October. But they urge people to use repellent, cover up, and avoid being outside at dawn and dusk.